day we gotta ghost everyone.
And sometimes the only way something's going to change is if we disappear.
Hey fellas, man, you tired of these women, man, playing you for stupid? You tired of these women, man, making you feel like you not enough? You making them feel, man, you tired of these women making you feel that you got to get out here and take a penitentiary chance to try to catch their attention? Well, I'm here to tell you, man, bump all that. Can you dig it? You need to take about a year, 6 months to a year to yourself in silence and just work on yourself. Because a woman, man, once you got your stuff in order, she gonna choose on you anyway because she like what she sees. She's like how you carrying yourself. But some of y'all are trying way too hard to impress these broads. Can you dig what I'm saying? So, hey, man, work on you for the next year and you will be great.
I want you to imagine in the future, you got a wife, you got kids, and then everything's so happy, and your wife's, out work. There are gonna be some guys who hit on her, aren't they? And one of those guys, he didn't take days off when you did. One of those guys who will flirt with your future wife or your girlfriend or the mother of your children. He's not being easy on himself right now. He's on the floor doing ab exercises, doing crunches whilst he's listening to this video. Are you? Or are you sat there with like fat rolls, just like poor posture, thinking, oh yeah, well, I've already worked out today, I already went to the gym today, so I don't need to do anything more. Rest is key. He's not resting, bro. Get to work.
16-year-old Alex Lee still can't believe how fast he became famous when this photo, snapped by a customer at a Target store in Texas, went viral last year.
I went back to work one day, and I was only on the cash register for 10 minutes, and they had to take me to the back. Everyone was noticing me, and every person that came through my line would ask for a picture, so it would take too long.
Pete's YouTube video.
And then they started chanting, "Take it off," and then I knew I was gonna have to take my shirt off.
An amazing turn of events for a kid.
Delete social media, cut off your friends that are bringing you down, including your family members. A year of no distractions. You're going ham in the gym.
I dare you to disappear. Go away for 6 months. Leave your familiar surroundings, your familiar routine. Block out all the drama.
You won't know what you're doing Friday nights because guess what? You're not going out anymore. Nobody knows you anymore and you become a ghost. But more importantly, this is what you want. Because you don't want people to recognize the old you, so you come out of the cave looking unrecognizable.
I don't want to take too much of your time, but I think I'm a pretty high value man, like a good
No.
bit.
One of the most brutal and saddest thing is time, age aspect of life, the window of opportunity. You gotta accomplish certain stuff during certain time periods, or it is simply too late. One thing you cannot take back is your youth.
I'm telling you guys, anything is possible.
Time is that one element of life that you can't rewind or trade for. Yes, you can still achieve some things, of course, some certain milestones or goals or whatever, but will it have the same effect? Will it have the same impact on your life?
when girls are younger, they tend to fall head over heels in love. They haven't yet built up a bitterness towards men. Most young girls haven't yet built up a crassness and shallowness that comes with promiscuity throughout their teens and 20s. They haven't yet begun to see men only for what they can get from them. They are free to love without the responsibilities of child-rearing, work, and a mortgage. Experts reveal the number of sexual partners you've had could determine how likely you are to get a divorce. The study found that for women marrying since 2000, those with 10 or more partners were most likely to divorce. That's right, when you settle down with a 35-year-old woman, you will probably never compare to her earlier crushes. When you're older and meet a woman around the same age, likely she will never be as sexually adventurous and as loving as she was in her past. You're paying a hefty price for a 20th or 30th hand product. You will always be the overly horny husband who just won't give it a rest. You'll never be the hot young guy named Chad who she was smitten with throughout the duration of their relationship, who she fucked behind a dumpster.
I work hard and stay on my grind through my 20s and some of my 30s, buying cars and networking, so that by the time I'm in my prime, I could find some Generation Alpha 20-year-old bride completely raised by the internet, who there's barely even going to be any of, by the way, because no one's been having kids in the last 5 years. So when young guys like me reach their prime when they're 35, there's not going to be any young women. There's barely going to be any. It's just going to be a worse demographic and dating market than we already have. Well, where now there's 2 single men for every single woman. Wait until you're 35 and you're all chasing the same small pool of young girls. It's going to be like 6 to 1.
You can't trade looks or money for time. That dark corner in your soul will always be there, calling for you. No matter how much you try to change, no matter how much you try to make up for those so-called lost years. Lost years, I fear, is something you can't undo. Lost years is kinda self-explanatory, bro. They are lost. But no matter how much you try to change, the past doesn't really leave you alone. And that is the most brutal part. No matter how much you try, no matter what you do, even if you try to, manage to do something on your own, lost time is never found again. You can't buy youth and enthusiasm about life with money acquired later in life. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't.
Guys, the reason why women and men should be in love at a certain age is because that's when they are most fertile and have the highest fertility rate, aka they must reproduce. It is meant by Mother Nature. And you will pay the fucking price later on if you miss out on this period of your life. If you do not have real, loving, intimate relationships while young, or worse, not even a good social circle, then you will be worse off than the guy that parties all day. You will be less emotionally intelligent. You will have this hole for the rest of your fucking days, no matter how much money or goldagers you have.
If you slow down and say that it's okay to play 1 hour video games, the guy who's right behind you, who you were gonna beat, but you slowed down to play 1 hour video games, crosses and he beats you, and then he takes your future wife and he impregnates her. Any man who is trying to convince you to slow down in the race of men is trying to f your future wife.
Brother, she's already doing the deed when your victims are grinding their lives away. She's already getting tossed around as we speak right now, even if they manage to get married to her later in life.
You can keep coping, you can keep watching Hamza's videos that will teach you how to badabucks, but you will never have real, true, pure love. The kind of love that isn't bought. You must try improving your looks as much as you can and have a social circle. This is all you need. And there are many incels that like to cope and say it's over while they still can make progress if they improve their looks and were more social. But of course, every case is different. And while some can improve, others are doomed, unfortunately.
It's a harrowing confrontation between a man, his wife, and her lover.
She's my wife, man. She's my wife.
It's almost painful to watch as 48-year-old Keith King struggles with his wife's lover as he pleads with her to come home.
Steenie, you're picking him over me. You're picking him over me now.
I don't want this.
I am 56 now, and yesterday I was 20, and today I'm 56. Time flies.
Your brain is changing, your psychology is changing, you know, and you know, one of the most brutal aspects of aging is what I call the time perception pill. And this is the brutality of the time perception pill. The more you age, the faster time goes by in your psychological perception. You know, when you're 8 years old, 1 year feels like a very, very long time. You know, I remember back in middle school and elementary school how like summer vacation felt like 3 years. I'm sure some of you guys can relate. Like, I remember summer vacation felt like years, you know, but nowadays, I mean, summer feels like, shit, a couple hours. That's why it often feels like, oh, I was just 20 yesterday. You know, when you talk to people who are 60, who are retiring, they often say like, you know, yesterday it felt like I was 20. You know, it just felt like I turned 20 yesterday. This is the brutality of the time perception pill. Time gets crunched as you get older, as life speeds up. Life comes at you fast. Responsibilities start to add up.
I found this thing called log time theory, which seems to be the prevailing theory of why we perceive that time moves faster as we get older. And this is essentially that your age is how you judge how time goes by. So if you're 10 years old, let's just say 10 years old, 1 year is 10% of your life, so time tends to move slower. But if you're 20 years old, 1 year is 5% of your life. And as you get older, that percentage goes lower and lower. So you actually feel like time is moving faster.
And you can't date women around your same age. But I'm specifically talking about the fallacy of being the 36-year-old millionaire who's riding around with college snow bunnies in his car. Like, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that delusion that the red pill and copers often sell young men, that you got time, bro, just wait, sacrifice your 20s. No, you don't have time. You don't. Life, the chapters are turning. Oh, well, I'll just be a millionaire, bro. Right. Keep telling yourself that, bro. It doesn't work where you can just reverse the clock and go back and make up for lost time. Unfortunately, lost time is truly never found again. Truly, you know, experiencing things that you should have experienced in your youth, experiencing those things later in life just don't hit the same. You know, you don't experience the same growth and change of experiencing certain things at certain times in your life. You know, experiences are largely, never forget this, experiences are largely shaped by the timing of the experience.
And the most tragic part in all this is you can't make up for it. Lost time is never found again.
Never spend your time watching Hamza or even my videos for that matter. Don't spend your time asking incels on looks maxing forums. Take the info I'm giving you about looks maxing, implement it, and live on. Don't let anyone else tell you how to live.